What an exciting gospel we read as part of our morning prayer this morning, this wonderful story from Luke. The poor disciples, having worked all night long, doing what they know best, doing what they have always done in the same way as they were trained by their parents in order to fish, and finding that it was fruitless. Along comes Jesus, whose suggestion meets with much resistance. We know what we are doing. But if you say so, they seem to reluctantly accept his challenge to cast the net over the other side of the boat. And so, in a new place, in a new form, in a completely unexpected and new direction, their fishing brings much fish. It may be obvious, but I can't help thinking about the call to be the church online that we have all experienced over these last few weeks. Somehow it feels akin to that sense of putting the net over the other side of the boat, and I, along with many others I am sure, were as reluctant and hesitant to enter into the unfamiliar as the disciples were. And yet here we are, a number of weeks later, and noticing that engagement is sky high. Earlier today I was in a Zoom meeting with our chapter, and everybody was commenting on the growth, the numbers that they're seeing, this mysterious group of people who seem to be engaging with church for the first time in a long time, if not the first time ever. People who are dipping in and feeling blessed. People who are now beginning to say, maybe I'll take a look when the churches reopen. It is extraordinary, and it cannot be ignored. There is a challenge ahead of us as a church. How are we going to integrate this particular learning from all of this? When things do begin to go back to something that we recognise and are familiar with, are we simply going to return to the other side of the boat and dismiss all of this time as an anomaly? Or will we do the hard work of theology and reflection to integrate the things that we are learning into our life as a church? It is notable that today is a day that we remember Gregory Dix. And in the words in this beautiful book, In the Shape of the Liturgy, he talks movingly about the reach of the Eucharist into all circumstances, all conditions of people, timelessly, through generations and generations, faithfully broken bread, faithfully received by the people of faith. Last week, I was here in my study, and my window here overlooks the roadside that goes past my door. And as I broke bread, as I celebrated the Mass here for the parish and for my community, for the world and for the church, I broke the bread, I elevated the host, and people were walking by. Suddenly I realised that the Eucharist had been recontextualised, that we were sitting, breaking bread and giving benediction and blessing to the whole of the world, not just to the people who were gathered in the church. It felt real. It felt just like a new casting of the net in a moment when the world needs it the very most of all. I do hope that we will be bold and brave about not simply returning to the other side of the boat, but actually bringing the learning that we have and helping these people to become fishers of people themselves.